by 7. First minute of the second half. Mo Gray along the left. Wofford 32-22 coming into this season. 117 lost only 10 last year for the NAI District 6 school. In the pivot to Schmidt, jump shot in and out, no good. He keeps alive. The rebound that goes over the end line. And Jay, as usual,
He's been out of the game a lot in the first half.
that was in fact his first shot attempt officially of the evening right there. Nance on the side to Saunders. He dribbles outside the arc and is fouled by Gray applying. He played almost 2 minutes. Inbounded, a long pass goes out to Donald Nance. Between the circles, the guard gives on his left to Odell, a hot shooter tonight. And he goes back to Nance out by the right hash mark. Now gets to Buddy Saunders inside the hash mark, guarded by Gray, who can really play some defense. They double team Odell as he gets it in the corner. He has to jump a pass way out deep to Nance. Nance passing on the side to Tomasevic, who is not an offensive threat, gives it back to Nance. They start their offensive movement all over again. To Odell to Nance, they're down to 16 seconds, and they're still outside the three-point arc. Holding and passing on the perimeter, outside, unable to get anything inside at all against Davidson defense, down to 7 seconds. They go for a turnaround shot by Joe, but he makes a tough 12-foot turnaround from the right, out from the baseline, and that was excellent defense. He just made a good shot.
He may not be the backup center after this game.
He came in averaging 3.5 points a game, and I checked, and he has, 5 field goals so far. He's not taking 16 shots all season until tonight. He's playing very well. Down to Schmidt, who lost his man and lays it in. That time, Schmidt really beat Joe and gets his first 2 points, and it's 48-39. Davidson with a 9-point lead, their biggest of the game. Jump shot Odell is no good, but he was fouled as he shot that one on the run, going out of bounds, actually, and he will go to the line and shoot a pair. Took an off-balance, 4% shot, and was fortunate to draw the foul, and Odell, who was 6 for 11, including 3 out of 4 three-pointers in the first half, will attempt his first free throw of the night. Walker got the foul.
Davidson looks like they may be ready to take command of this game. They're leading by 9. That's their biggest lead. They led by 7 at halftime.
They're playing a better interior defense in this first couple of minutes of the second half. They let Wofford get too many easy shots in the first half. Odell's southpaw that in and out. Spun on the rim and dropped off. And he'll try now to reduce the deficit to 8, make it a 48-40 ball game in favor of Davidson. If he can make this second free throw, and he does. Nice touch, good shooter, 16 points to lead all scorers in the game. Mo Gray gets to Schmidt against pressure. He goes on the left to Himes. They beat the press, go to Hunter, to Gray, lays it up. It is good. It's Thompson. He was fouled on the block.
Excellent play. Good way to work it inside.
They did what you said, Howard. They kept the ball off the floor. They kept passing the ball without dribbling, and so they beat the defense easily.
And that's the way to do it. And that's the efficient way that the coach Bob Hussey stresses in practice.
When you work against that press, you go to a certain spot, you keep the ball moving, and you beat the pressure defense. Now you have a 10-point lead, and Mo Gray, who is in double figures, misses the free throw, kept alive on the rebound, and he gets it back about 10 feet away, goes to Rucker in the corner, and he starts it all over again. Goes back to Hunter, Alan Hunter, getting a start tonight, and playing well. Straight away with the right hand dribble toward the right hash mark. Back between the circles straight away to Rucker now. Down into the left corner goes to Schmidt. Schmidt goes back to Hunter. He penetrates inside the arc, goes back outside the arc to Rucker. He's picked up, so he loops it on the right to Gray, just inside the arc for a 2, and he hits. Good trajectory again. He's getting a little more arc on that shot, and that will increase his percentage, which is only 45 coming into this ballgame. 52-40. Mo Gray having a good start to the second half.
12 points tonight, and the pace of this game has slowed somewhat because both teams are in the zone.
Turnaround jump shot is missed, but tapped up and no good by Buddy Saunders, taken down and kept alive by Wofford. Stephen Joe getting it out away from the basket. The big center gives it to Nance. Nance cross-court to Sanders. Sanders takes the jump shot from medium range, misses, it's the front rim, and the rebound goes to Schmidt. Hands it to Rucker, and quickly in the forecourt, Derek loops the pass down to Hunter. Hunter goes to the baseline on the right, lays up and in. He got the roll on the iron that time, and Wofford needs to take a timeout. It is 54-40. They are down 14 points, and there is the whistle, and the timeout we suspected was coming. With 15:52 to go in the ball game, Davidson leading 54-40. Back in 60 seconds, you're listening to the Davidson Basketball Network.
In the first half, and they were down by 7. They're not shooting that well now, and they're down by 14 early in the second half.
I remember the little political saying, 54-40 and fight. Well, that's what the Terriers have got on their hands now. And they throw it away. Stolen by Himes on a steal from Nance. Goes to Rucker. Drives, lays it up underhand. It's no good. Buddy was fouled, and he'll shoot two. He wanted that one to go. Upset with himself that he didn't get the roll, but he shoots two at the line.
Fouls on Odell, and they got a long way to go before they're going to get him out of there. It's his first foul, but he's had an outstanding night, 16 points.
Crowd yelling, sit, to Richard Johnson, the coach of the Terriers, is on his feet a lot the last few minutes, and Rucker hit the front rim and barely grazed it. He's shooting 76% from the line. My guess is he'll make this one. Bends the knees a little more and does so. So it's 55-40. Davidson with 15 and a half to go in the game by 15 points. The Wofford Terriers moving to the basket to your left as you look in this early moments of the second half in the black rose uniforms, double teaming Odell and almost stealing it. The Wildcats in mid-court. He gets it back now and takes a jump shot left hand and misses it long, no good. Loose ball rebound. Schmidt tears it out of there. Good rebound by Jay Schmidt. He's only got 2 points, but he's done well on the defensive boards this half. There's Gray from the corner. Two more.
Boy, Mo is turning it on now. He really is.
This is the hottest he's been from outside all year, and you can see the difference is he's not throwing that line drive jumper, but he's put a little arc on the ball, and he's got 14 points now and 7 field goals. On the side, now down into the right corner it goes to Stefan Blanding. Nice pass underneath to Odell. Blows the layup, and he keeps the ball alive and brings it back out again. He didn't use the backboard, and he blew an easy one. In the lane it goes to Joe Stephen with a runner, and he hits. Pretty good performance by the backup center.
He's just a freshman, this Job, and I would have to think that he has earned himself quite a bit more playing time tonight.
He's a muscular kid, a big kid. He doesn't really look like a leaper, and he's not, but he gets good position, and he's got a nice touch. On the side, Mo Gray takes a pass from Rucker, loops it cross court to Hunter. Hunter along the right baseline to Schmidt. Hasn't dribbled yet. Loops the pass back out to Rucker. Rucker dribbles once in the circle. Gives it back behind him to Hunter and takes a return pass straight away. 57-42 Davidson. 14 minutes left to go in the game. They lead by 15 points over the Wofford Terriers. Make it 18 if Rucker hits it. He does. A three-point attempt, and you can tell from our vantage point high atop center court that baby was in the minute it left his hand.
16 for Rucker. Rucker got 18.
And he's got 4 threes, and there's 60-42, and a foul is called on Derek as he tried to pilfer the ball from Greg Odell. That's his third. That was a careless foul. Gonna have some substitutions. Buddy Saunders coming into the ball game in place of Tillman Ruff for the Terriers of Wofford. And Tomasevich is also back in, the starting forward. They're going to have to hit some threes to get back in this game. They're down 60-42, an 11-point differential in this half alone. Foul underneath as Tomasevich told you, shooting 58% in the first half and shooting less than 30% in this second half so far. They, in fact, have only, they scored less than 10 points in the first 7 minutes. Blanding along the baseline, almost threw it right through Odell. Threw it way too hard. Odell lost it. Schmidt came up, and here comes Alan Hunter quickly into the forecourt. Passing on the right wing and taking it back from Gray. Wheeling it from right to left outside the arc. Now they go down into the corner to Mo Gray. Hooks a beautiful pass to Schmidt. The shot won't go, but he's fouled by Nance. Well, that was his
flat, but he's starting to get good arc and good shot selection as well today.
And Schmidt puts it in. Jay Schmidt, scoreless in the first half, has 3 points here in the second half, averaging 10 a game, shooting 64% from both the field and the line. And this is the second one. Rebound goes to the Wofford Terrier, Steve Tomasevich. He goes to Donald Nance. Down court to Buddy Saunders, the off guard. Saunders into the corner, back to Nance, and to Greg Odell straight away. Back to Buddy outside. High post now, facing the basket. They go on the right to Odell, taking a pass from Blanding. Blanding gets it back along the baseline and hits a 6-footer. Good ball movement that time by the Terriers as they kept it moving without putting it on the floor and got the two-pointer, make it 61-44 with 12 and a half minutes to go in the ball game. Davidson by 17. Derry Strickland, the freshman, in. Alan Hunter, bounce pass by Gray as he took a pass from Strickland and thrown away, intended for Himes, and the Terriers come up with a turnover. Davidson doesn't want to let them creep back into this ball game. playing some good, tough man-to-man defense on the defensive end and switching off into his zone from a man-to-man. Outside Blanding, the sophomore center, facing the basket. Goes into the corner. Odell has it. Back out to Nance. Nance cross-court pass goes to Saunders. Buddy passes in the circle to Odell and takes it back along the left baseline. Good defense applied by Gray, so he goes back to Nance, and they start the offense over again underneath. Schmidt let his man get free, and it's laid up by Tomasevich, and good. And he was fouled. Schmidt had problems when Schmidt has been in foul trouble, particularly the last one against South Carolina. He had to set out a lot of the ballgame. Shot is up and good by Tomasevich. He converts the standard three-pointer to make it a 61-47 Davidson lead. 14 points now as they get the ball into the forecourt. Rucker with a right-hand dribble by the left hash mark. Gray is in the corner moving along the baseline, Strickland rather. And Strickland is a foul away from the play, and we got a two. I guess you could call a lot of fouls if you look for them away from the ball, because when they set up in the pivot, somebody's always shoving.
That was Coach Hussey's point about that call on Jay Schmidt in the South Carolina game.
Inbounds pass, the Wildcats have it with a 14-point lead, just under 12 minutes. And then they'll be on the road again next Tuesday night against the VMI, and then back home next Saturday afternoon against UT Chattanooga. Deflected 18-point lead at 61-47. It'll be Derry Strickland, the freshman, getting a little more playing time tonight. Bobby likes his quickness. He just needs playing time more than anything else. Passes it out to Rucker just outside the three-point arc straight away. He isn't looking for the shot now. He gives it to Strickland. Strickland dribbling from left to right, keeping the ball alive. Looking as the players without the ball trying to move to get into shooting range. He goes to Gray. Gray back to Rucker. Fakes left, goes right. Now along the baseline to Schmidt. Loops across court pass to Strickland. Strickland picked up by the defense on the switch. Underneath the side L, back to Rucker for a three on a nice pass. It's no good, and it's taken off. Loose ball on the floor, scramble. Let's see, it's on the end line, and one of the players, I believe it was Odell, had possession, but his foot was on the end line as he was on the floor, and Davidson gets yet another inbound opportunity.
Strickland playing more tonight than I've seen him play in any game this year.
Well, he had the ankle injury and missed the game at Wilmington, and he is very quick, a lot like Hunter. Year behind him in school as a freshman. I think he'll get a lot of playing time as the season progresses. Stolen as they try to pass it down low. Wofford coming up with the ball, and it is a re-steal as it's thrown out of bounds carelessly by Buddy Saunders. He tried to lead his teammate
Since the 2-minute mark of the first half.
Yeah. Davidson got some loose balls and a couple of three-pointers late in that first half to take a 7-point halftime lead, and they have really added to that margin here, now leading by 14 at 61-47. Both clubs have hit a dry spell here. Look out, Himes just got elbowed to the floor as he took a pass against UNC Charlotte in early December. I know every time that he goes to the floor like that in an unorthodox position, you got to hold your breath. Inbounds will be Hunter getting it to Himes, who lays it in on one of the best plays of the game. The high pass, he took it in stride in the lane and just in one motion underhanded it home.
First points of the second half for Jeff. He's got 12 total.
The average is 19. Coming around the screen is Odell. Back to Nance. Foul away from the play again. And they're going to call it on Schmidt. Away from the play for elbowing Tomasevich. That's the second foul of that nature in this half on Schmidt. How many is that in the game, Howard?
4 for Jay now. And again, it's just
careless foul. Well, yeah, kind of careless foul, really, when you consider the circumstance, being his fourth with 10 minutes and a half to go in the game, and Ginn comes in for him. You can't help your team from the bench. Nobody knows that better than Schmidt. This is the second straight game he's had to sit out a lot of time with foul trouble. The Wofford Terriers, 5 seconds. He called a timeout, but he didn't call it until there were 4 seconds gone of the 5 you're allotted. You can't do that. Odell, and so the turnover, the timeout not allowed, of course, by the official. The turnover goes to the Wildcats, 63-47. They got a 16-point lead, and they have blown this game open here in the second half, leading by 7 at halftime. Derek Rucker goes to Mike Ginn and takes a pass back on the left perimeter. Fakes left, goes right. Cross-court pass was intended for Hunter, but Ginn stuck his hand up.
Certainly glad they can catch all the action of the ball game this evening.
Parents, of course, of Dean Keener, not in the game at the moment, but he will be, no doubt. Jump shot out of the corner. There he is, Mr. Odell, firing in another one. Greg getting his first 3 of the second half. He had 3 of them in the opening half, and it's 63-50. Mo Gray, again, outside the arc, going into the left corner now to Hunter, and a foul away from the play as Rucker threw in a jump shot, but there was a foul well before the shot as a little basketball they were throwing around at halftime. Souvenir basketball, one of the little ones, came out onto the court, and that cost Davidson a jump shot.
A little easier to stuff, maybe.
Yeah. Somebody threw one of those little souvenir basketballs that you give a 4-year-old out onto the court inadvertently, I think, and it went right into the defensive alignment for the Terriers, so the officials wisely called the timeout. Now play back in, Rucker, see if he can set up and get that same jump shot again. Davidson leading by 13 points at 63-50. Alan Hunter goes to Mo Graves, had a good night on the side, to Mike Ginn in the left corner. The offense rotating against the zone defense, and goes to Mo Gray down along the baseline to Himes. He spins, not open. The zone picked him up, so he goes back up top to Hunter, to Rucker on the left perimeter. He penetrates, dishes off beautifully. 2 points for Himes.
Just beat the 45-second clock with 1 second on the shot clock.
So a good assist for Rucker in a 65-50 lead. Down low to Tomasevic. He's double teamed, muscles it up. It won't go. Rebound goes to Stephen Job, who's the right man in the right place, but he falls to the floor. And as from a sitting position, Magic, playing the first time since December 19th, deflects the inbound. His rhythm and maybe a little bit of his playing condition, too. Davidson leading 65-50. It was 44-37 Wildcats in a hard-played first half. There's Greg Odell in and out on a three-point attempt. He'd already gotten 4 of them to go down. Here comes Rucker on the break. 3-on-3. Pauses outside. Goes to Ginn. Into the left corner he goes now to Magic Gaines. Now he passes as he comes out back into the corner to Hunter, and he throws it out between the circles to Rucker. Rucker goes to Ginn facing the basket just outside the circle. Almost knocked out of his hands by Tomasevic. He goes to Gaines, and Gaines loses it off his Davidson shot in the low 50s, and Wofford shot 58%.
Jack, I think a lot of that's due to both teams switching to zones, and it's really slowed the pace and the rhythm, and both teams have had to try to get most of their shots from outside.
And if fans might have just heard a whistle, we had one of those fouls away from the play. As that's Rucker, and is that his 4th foul? I think so, with 8 minutes to go in the game. Derrick committing his 3rd foul of this half, and Dean Keener will come into the ball game. It'll be 1-1 opportunity now at the line for the Wofford Terriers.
Buddy Saunders going to the line, and we check his free throw percentage out. Little under 62% coming into tonight.
Wofford, again, is an NAIA District 6 team. They've played South Carolina, lost 81-62, and played Furman of the Southern Conference and lost 84-61. They also lost a 1-point game in their last outing to Erskine. Team Davidson played here in their opener on November 27th and beat handily. First shot was good, and it's 65-51. Their next game will also be in District 6 play against the Flying Fleet of Erskine.
I saw the Flying Fleet twice, because I saw them also against the Catawba Indians in Salisbury.
And it's good. In case you folks don't know it, if you don't listen to Howard Daly, he is the voice of the Catawba Indians. And that's a lot of basketball when you cover 2 college teams, a lot of basketball. Stolen by the Wofford Terriers on a deflection at midcourt as Stephen Job comes up with it. He goes to Davidson and back to Job. Job in the corner knocks down a defender, Schmidt, and what do we got this time? We might have a foul on, an offensive foul on Job, and we do, and it's a good thing because I think Schmidt had been out of the game if they'd been called out on him.
And Schmidt's got 4, and also with 4 is Rucker.
Rucker just went out of the game. Himes comes into the forecourt with the ball. 7:50 to go in the game. Davidson comfortably ahead, but neither team's been able to light up that scoreboard in the last 5 minutes with any kind of shot. The Wildcats, Himes in the circle. On the left to Dean Keener. Fakes the jumper. Takes the 2 now, and he missed everything. He threw an air ball. He gets his own rebound. He threw that one up and got fouled. Keener never really has been in a shooting rhythm this year, and I'm not saying that critically because that's just a fact. He's shooting 30%, and his playing time has diminished as his shooting percentage has fallen.
Tucker Davidson got the foul. I think with Dean, he's just pressing a little too much, and I think all he needs to do
he's a
is
more effective player, perhaps, coming off the bench, as he did very well last year in a lot of key conference games.
And if he hits a shot or 2, he'll relax, and he'll, I think, do a lot better, and certainly can contribute to this team offensively. He's just in a shooting slump right now.
Second one, as he missed the first off the front rim, is no good. He missed that one off to the left, and it's taken down by Blanding. Up court quickly come the Wofford Terriers. Davidson, the guard number 22, guarded by Keener. Number 24 on the right goes to Buddy Saunders, and he passes nicely in the low post, and it's dropped out of bounds. He had a layup if he had held the ball. Against the pressure, Himes takes the inbound pass from Schmidt, who takes it back and goes to Magic Gaines, who breaks the press, goes to the baseline all the way, puts it up no good. Two bodies crash to the floor, both get up uninjured, and the ball goes to the Terriers. Coming back up court is Davidson, their guard. Going on the outside for that three to Odell. Swish. I love watching that southpaw shoot. That's 5 3-pointers for the freshman, Greg Odell.
And 22 points total for Odell. If you give him that open shot, he's going to hit it. They got a timeout called by Davidson now.
No surprise, because, boy, they've gone ice cold all of a sudden, Howard.
Basketball Network.
Erskine, Pittsburgh, Johnstown, Hofstra. Haven't been able to put them away early at all. Inbounds pass by Davidson's knocked out of bounds.
Another reason tonight is they're only 5 for 13 from the free throw line.
That's less than 40%. Less than 40% for a team that shot in the high 70s last year. They break the press. Dean Keener with a left-hand dribble guarded by Greg Odell. Gets it to Mo Gray. On the right now to Schmidt. Rucker out with 4 fouls. We've got 6.5 minutes to go. Davidson leads by 10 points. Schmidt with 4 fouls also. Gets the ball to Keener and to Alan Hunter. In there at the starting guard position now. He's done a good job with the floor game. Goes to Jeff Himes and back to Hunter. Hunter uses up his dribble just inside the three-point arc to Gray. Spins into the lane with a jumper. It's long this time. Kept alive by Schmidt. Keener goes and gets it. Davidson has a fresh 45, leading 65-55.
Davidson ought to be able to do something here because Wofford's had to switch to a man-to-man to try to break into this lead.
Now, that's a good point, and the ball is deflected out of bounds by Wofford. And it's inbounded by Alan Hunter. Out straightaway between the circles to Keener. He goes to high post. Himes scoops it up, and he got the roll. That's something he didn't have in the earlier games this year. He got the roll nicely on that one in the lane with a 5-footer.
16 for Jeff.
First basket for the Wildcats in about 3 minutes. Odell guns one up, hits, and it counts, and he was fouled. And that kid is really a fine left-hand jump shooter from any range. That one was about 7 or 8 feet away, and he was on the move.
Keener picked up the foul, and I tell you, you're right, this Odell is an impressive-looking freshman, 6'4", from Stone Mountain, Georgia. He's got 5 3-pointers tonight and 4 2-pointers.
He's as good a small college shooter as we've seen in any of the games Davidson played this year. And it's good. He got the 3-pointer. What's he got for the game now? Over 20, isn't it?
Yeah, that's now 25 points for him.
Wow, that's not bad. And nobody on their team was averaging over 11. So he's having a career night thus far. Pressure defense by the Terriers. 67-58. They're down 9. Davidson gets it to Gray. He shoots and scores. And a pass from Hunter as they broke the press. Hunter playing an excellent ball game, getting into Mo Gray likewise. And with 5.5 to go, it's 69-58. And of course, when you're down, and here's another foul away from the press. And he makes it and earns the second one. Schmidt playing with 4 fouls. Didn't score in the first half. Played only 8 minutes in that half. Makes the second one. Had good touch on both those. Davidson 71, Wofford 58. We're down to, as I said, just under 5.5 minutes to go in the game as the Terriers, Odell with 25 points, jumps a pass to Ruff, and Ruff bullets a pass into the left corner. Now back out to Nance for a 3. It's long. Taken on by Jeff Himes with a good rebound. No pressure defense this time as Keener brings it into the forecourt. A quick pass to Hunter. Allen, who can shoot but doesn't very often. They wheel it around from left to right outside the perimeter to Gray in the corner. He fires a bullet pass, and Hunter deflects it but maintains possession. Back to Gray, down low to Schmidt. Schmidt's tied up. It's a jump ball, and I think it's Davidson possession it is. Good defensive play that time down underneath against Schmidt as a bounce pass. He never could get the shot off. And it'll be inbounded by the Wildcats, Alan Hunter. The sophomore gives it to Schmidt inside, misses the layup off the glass. Hunter rebounds off the glass, no good. This time it comes to Donald Nance. And the quick guard into the forecourt goes all the way to the left baseline. Thought he'd stop and throw a 3. Throws the pass to Tomasevic in the lane, hit. He intended that pass for Odell outside the 3-point arc, but Tomasevic intercepted it, made the shot. Davidson calls a timeout. His score is 71-60. And that was an unusual play. Tomasevic, who rarely shoots, shot
on the Davidson Basketball Network.
You've got Davidson College basketball on WRDX, Salisbury, Charlotte.
The Davidson Wildcats in possession. Derek Rucker back into the ball game for Dean Keener with 4.5 minutes to go. They lead by 11. Rucker playing with 4 fouls, as is Schmidt. Derek on the outside. Gives alongside to Gray, who penetrates along the left of the lane and takes the jumper and rims it out, no good. Rebounds the Blanding of Wofford. He gives out, and now a long quick down court pass to Ruff, and Ruff in the left corner swings it back to the right, and it goes for the baseline jumper at Buddy Saunders, and it's a beauty, a two-pointer, but an awfully nice on-the-move jumper going to his left. Down court, nice pass to Himes from Rucker for 2. They beat the pressure and beat the defense back, and Rucker put it right in his hands like a quarterback to a wide receiver. It is 73-62 underneath. Pass to Tomasevic. He took the right-hand layup instead of the left-hand layup and blew it. And Davidson gets the rebound. Gray goes to Rucker, who penetrates, spins, and comes back outside the arc. Straight away to Gray. Looks, now drives, spins in the lane, doesn't shoot. Goes to Hunter, back to Rucker. Out in the center circle now with 3.5 minutes to go and an 11-point Davidson lead. They're going to be 6-5 after tonight's game. Wofford will be 1-5. Himes on the side, 20 on the shot clock. Hunter on the move, hit. That's something he ought to do more often, is take that open 15 to 18 footer, because he's got that kind of range.
And he's got 8 points this evening, so that shows he can contribute offensively.
That's his high for the season. Bounce pass down low, laid up and in nicely. Good pass that time from Blanding to Tomasevic.
Well, he was wide open. There wasn't anybody within 5 feet of him.
He was so open, I don't think you can believe it. Right under the basket. Baseline spinning move by Gray. Comes back outside to Alan Hunter. Alan Hunter goes to Rucker. Rucker outside the arc. How about one more 3 for the crowd tonight, Derek? He's got 4 tonight. Hunter with the ball to Himes. Foul. Another one of those away from the ball whistles. Davidson leading 75-64, and this is going to bring about a 1-and-1 opportunity for the Wildcats. It was on Stefan Blanding.
Both teams in the bonus here.
Greg Odell among those back into the ball game for Wofford at this whistle. 2.5 minutes to go. Davidson winning 75-64. They've been in command since they spurted to a double-figure lead in the opening 3 minutes of the second half. Schmidt makes the free throw. He's hit 3 in a row now, his last 2 trips. Davidson led 44-37 at halftime thanks to a 3-pointer just before the buzzer by Derek Rucker. Misses the second one, Jay does, and it's taken on by Stefan Blanding, who averaged 11 rebounds a game as a freshman last year. Up court to Buddy Saunders, who hit his last one but misses this one. And Rucker gets the rebound and comes out of there quickly into the forecourt and holds up now just by the left hash mark. 12-point lead, just over 2 minutes to go. Pass by Schmidt is thrown badly and intercepted, and here comes Odell on a deflection for the layup in his 26th and 27 points of the night. Greg Odell. He wins the $1,000 scholarship for the visiting team tonight for the outstanding player. Only kidding, folks. And under 2 minutes now, 76-66. Davidson by 10. Into the lane, Himes scoops it up, and then he took him one-on-one and beat him, and timeout's going to be called. As the basket was, is it a timeout or is it a foul after the basket?
I know one thing.
He beat the defense with a nice move down the lane. Jeff Himes, you give him an opening, and he's going to make you pay for it.
Richard Johnson is upset.
Frankly, I don't know why. It wasn't a timeout. It wasn't a dead ball. I think Richard's asking why did the whistle blow. He's been asking a lot of questions.
I really don't know either.
Maybe it was one of those inadvertent whistles.
Or it could have been for the crowd.
Here we go now. The 12-point deficit. Wofford with the ball. Playing out the last 2 minutes of this ball game. Into the right corner to Stefan Blanding along the baseline. And in possession of the ball and almost throwing it away is Ruff, and he does throw it away. Nice pass down court again to Hunter from Rucker. 2. Boy, I'll tell you, a nice pass off the dribble by Rucker, who's really piled up some assists tonight, in addition to some good shooting. Jump shot by Ruff grazes the rim, almost an air ball. Schmidt takes a hard fall as he's knocked out of bounds. And the whistle blows with under a minute and a half to go. It's going to be a foul against Buddy Saunders.
Saunders picking up his 4th, and Jay Schmidt going after it. He's limping a little bit on his left leg. He called for that one.
He hit the floor.
First foul trouble. That's 2 games in a row he's gotten himself in foul trouble. Once he learns to temper his action somewhat, he's going to be a great player.
A beautiful rebound off the Schmidt miss by Hunter as he hustled into the lane, kept the ball alive, gets it to Gray, and Davidson still with possession. Moe into the lane, shoots it off the glass and rims it out. And it's taken down by Job, and Job gets it to a teammate down into the corner, and it's stolen by Rucker on a pass. Comes down all the way. Rucker lays it up and in. Rucker stole the down court pass from Nance. Went in for two more with a minute to go in the game. It is 82-68, and that one puts the exclamation point on this game. Nance throws it to Blanding, and Blanding throws in two from the corner, and Wofford calls a timeout. 51 seconds to go. And with 51 seconds to go, let's take our final break of the evening in the regulation portion of this ball game with this Harris coming off the Davidson bench for the first time this half. Davidson inbounding it. Let's hope that every time the Wildcats score, we don't have a timeout by Wofford to delay the inevitable here. Derek Rucker dribbling, guarded tightly, gets it into the corner. A jump shot attempt by Gilmore is deflected nicely, and a good block by Buddy Son. And headed in the right direction as they begin the Southern Conference schedule Saturday afternoon at the Citadel. Beautiful bounce pass underneath, laid up and in nicely by Gilmore, by Hunter, on a fine pass from Gilmore. 84-68, biggest lead of the game for the Wildcats, 16 points. As the Wofford Terriers playing the last 20 seconds and trying to get a basket here at the end. High post foul on Harris, fouling a fellow number 32, and that is Tillman Ruff. And Tillman goes to the line for a 1-and-1.
Yeah, just 15 seconds left, 84-68. Our video man, Mr. Shearer, says hello to the Keeners.
Bill Sellers comes in, and Jeff Himes goes out and gets a hand. Also coming in the ball game, Derry Strickland, and here's a hand for Derek Rucker, who has really played an excellent floor game. In addition to scoring tonight, he's had some good assists. So, Tillman Ruff, a 6'3 sophomore from Columbia, South Carolina, misses on the first half of the 1-and-1, and Jeff Harris clears the rebound. Goes to Derry Strickland with 10 seconds and counting in the ball game, 84-68. Along the baseline, bounce pass to Strickland, fire it up, Derry, bang, 3 points, and the ball game is over. Oh, how about that finish? Each half ended with a 3-point bomb. Rucker in the first half, Strickland in the second half, and the final score not indicative of how tough this game was most of the way. The biggest lead of the night for the Wildcats, the final lead, Davidson 87, and the visiting Wofford Terriers